Moving on to the Defender, Isfj. Very dedicated and warm protectors, always ready to defend their loved ones. Introduction. Love only grows by sharing. You can only have more for yourself by giving it away to others. Brian Tracy. In their unassuming, understated way, people with the ISFJ personality type, defenders, help make the world go round. Hardworking and devoted, these personalities feel a deep sense of responsibility to those around them. ISFJs can be counted on to meet deadlines, remember birthdays and special occasions, uphold traditions, and shower their loved ones with gestures of care and support. But they rarely demand recognition for all that they do, preferring instead to operate behind the scenes. This is a capable, can-do personality type with a wealth of versatile gifts. Though sensitive and caring, ISFJs also have excellent analytical abilities and an eye for detail. And despite their reserve, they tend to have well-developed people skills and robust social relationships. These personalities are truly more than the sum of their parts, and their varied strengths shine in even the most ordinary aspects of their daily lives. ISFJs are true altruists, meeting kindness with kindness in excess and engaging with the work and people they believe in with enthusiasm and generosity. The gift of loyalty. One of the greatest ISFJ strengths is loyalty. They rarely allow a friendship or relationship to fade away from lack of effort. Instead, they invest a great deal of energy into maintaining strong connections with their loved ones, and not just by sending "how are you doing" texts. People with this personality type are known for dropping everything and lending a hand whenever a friend or family member is going through a hard time. ISFJ personalities tend to feel most energized and effective when they're showing up for someone who needs their help. And their sense of loyalty doesn't stop with their nearest and dearest. It often extends to their communities, their employers, and even family traditions. But the intensity of their commitment and desire to serve can have its downsides. Other people may take advantage of ISFJ's helpful, hardworking nature, leaving them feeling burned out and overworked. And these personalities may feel guilty or stressed when they contemplate saying no or making changes, even necessary changes, to themselves, their relationships, or the way that they've done things in the past. A notable ISFJ weakness is that they often find change difficult, particularly when it's sudden or involves unfamiliar territory. In fact, they are the most likely personality type to feel stressed out by last-minute changes. The highest of standards. For ISFJs, good enough is rarely good enough. People with this personality type can be meticulous to the point of perfectionism. They take their responsibilities seriously, consistently going above and beyond and doing everything that they can to exceed others' expectations. Despite their hard work and consistency, ISFJ personalities are still known for their humility. They rarely seek the spotlight for the things they do. But that doesn't mean they are okay with being unnoticed or underappreciated. While ISFJs tend to underplay their accomplishments, that doesn't mean that they don't enjoy recognition, or that they're fine with being taken for granted. Unless they learn to stand up for themselves, people with this personality type may find themselves quietly losing their enthusiasm and motivation, eventually becoming resentful towards those who just don't seem to appreciate them. showing up for others and themselves. Although they're introverted, ISFJ personalities have a deeply social nature. Thanks to their ability to remember the details of other people's lives, they have a special talent for making their friends and acquaintances feel seen, known, and cherished. Few personality types can match their ability to choose just the right gift for any occasion, whether large or small. Dedicated and thoughtful, ISFJs find great joy in helping those around them build stable, secure, and happy lives. It may not be easy for people with this personality type to show up for themselves in the way that they show up for others, but when they do, they often find themselves with even more energy and motivation to do good in the world. Moving on to strengths and weaknesses. ISFJ weaknesses. Overly humble. ISFJs are so concerned with other people's feelings that they may refuse to make their thoughts known or to take any duly earned credit for their contributions. They often downplay their efforts entirely when they think that they could have done some minor aspect of a task better. Taking things personally. Although they might try to hide it, people with this personality type are deeply sensitive to others' opinions, and they can be thrown off balance if someone doesn't appreciate, approve of, or agree with them. When they encounter criticism or disagreement, even if it's well-intentioned, ISFJs may feel as if they're experiencing a personal attack, repressing their feelings. Private and reserved, ISFJ personalities tend to internalize their feelings, particularly negative ones. This can create misunderstandings in their relationships. Eventually, all of their repressed feelings and resentments may boil over in a sudden, uncharacteristic outburst of frustration. Reluctant to change. ISFJs are among the personality types that struggle the most with change. Breaking with tradition isn't easy for these steady personalities who place great value on history. Even when change is necessary, they may wait until the situation reaches a breaking point before altering course. Too altruistic. ISFJ's giving, generous nature can leave them vulnerable to being taken advantage of by others. It can be hard for them to rock the boat and stand up to someone who isn't pulling their own weight. In fact, ISFJs are the most likely personality type to say they would rather clean up someone else's mess than confront them about it directly. ISFJ strengths. Supportive. People with the ISFJ personality type, defenders, truly enjoy helping others, and they happily share their knowledge, attention, and expertise with anyone who needs it. ISFJs strive for win-win situations, choosing teamwork over competition whenever possible. Reliable. Rather than working in sporadic, excited bursts that leave things half-finished, ISFJ personalities are meticulous and careful. They take a steady approach, ensuring that things are done in the highest standard, often going well beyond what is required. Further, most ISFJs agree that sustaining discipline and reliability becomes easier with time. Observant. ISFJ personalities have a talent for noticing things, particularly about other people. They pay attention to the smallest details of what someone says and does, giving them unexpected insights into other people's lives and emotions. Enthusiastic. When the goal is right, ISFJs apply all their gifts to something that they believe will make a real, positive difference in people's lives. Whether that's fighting poverty with a global initiative or simply making a customer's day at work. Hardworking. ISFJs don't just get their work done, they take pride in going above and beyond all of their tasks and responsibilities. People with this personality type often form an emotional attachment to the projects and organizations that they've dedicated themselves to, and they won't rest until they've done their share, or more than their share, to be of help. Good practical skills. The ISFJ personality type offers the rare combination of an altruistic nature and hard-won practicality. They don't just hope to help others, they take action, meaning that they're more than happy to roll up their sleeves and do what's necessary to care for their friends, family, and anyone else who needs it. Moving on to romantic relationships. Romantic relationships bring out a side of people with the ISFJ personality type, defenders, that may not be obvious at first glance. Beneath their patient and demure exteriors, ISFJs thrum with passionate commitment and loyalty toward the people they love. At times, even these personalities themselves may be surprised by the intensity of their feelings, especially their fierce desire to protect and care for their partner. ISFJ's emotions run deep, so deep that people with this personality type may struggle to find the words to express just how much their partner means to them. But they show their affection in a million little ways on a daily basis, always eager to make their loved ones' lives better and more convenient. ISFJs can transform even the most ordinary tasks, from cooking dinner to organizing a weekend trip, into a heartfelt gesture of love. ISFJ personalities usually express their love and affection not through grandiose declarations, but rather through consistent, everyday gestures that demonstrate thoughtfulness and care. An ISFJ in love. Although generally a proactive, can-do personality type, many ISFJs struggle to take the initiative when it comes to dating. Asking someone out can be incredibly uncomfortable for these personalities, who tend to worry about not only rejection but also violating unspoken social rules. The bad news is that ISFJs can end up feeling stuck, wanting to embark on a relationship but waiting for another person to make the first move. ISFJ personalities approach dating and romance with an enormous level of dedication and loyalty. They value deep, enduring connections and are often seeking long-term commitment rather than short-lived adventures. When they do find themselves in a relationship, ISFJs are, in a word, committed. People with this personality type find great fulfillment in sharing their time, energy, and affection with another person, and as partners, they tend to be incredibly giving and supportive. They don't take their relationships lightly, and they don't give up easily, even when challenges inevitably arise. ISFJ personalities tend to have a realistic appreciation for the amount of effort that a healthy long-term relationship requires, and they're more than willing to put in the work necessary to build a lasting bond with a person they cherish. Soundness of heart. ISFJ's pragmatic approach to life can sometimes shield the incredibly strong feelings that lie within their heart. It's no surprise, then, that it can take these personalities a relatively long time to recover from the heartache of a breakup, or even a particularly painful disagreement. ISFJs give so much of themselves in their relationships that they can feel deeply hurt when they believe that someone isn't offering them enough love, commitment, respect, and appreciation in return. Unfortunately, ISFJs may find it difficult to break off a relationship, even when things just aren't working out. People with this personality type may hang on due to misplaced loyalty, a general fear of change, or the hope that they can somehow figure out how to change any problems for the better. It would be a mistake, however, to think of ISFJs as pushovers in their relationships. Although these personalities generally try to avoid conflict, they have clear and firm opinions and preferences on all kinds of subjects. And when they feel as if their partner isn't respecting their wishes, All of their repressed frustration and disappointment may eventually boil over in the form of negativity, resentment, or heels dug in stubbornness. ISFJs fully devote themselves to their partner, but they may feel unfulfilled unless they remember to also honor their own hopes and dreams. In their heart of hearts, however, what ISFJ personalities want most is to ensure their partner's happiness and well-being. As long as they balance this desire with a healthy amount of attention to their own needs and aspirations, ISFJs can enjoy exactly the sort of endearing and passionate relationships that they've always dreamed about. Moving on to friendships. Given how warm, supportive, and generous people with the ISFJ personality type defenders are, it's not surprising that others gravitate towards them as friends. But while they value and even cherish their friendships, they don't find it easy to bond with just anyone. ISFJs tend to be private and a bit protective of themselves. As a result, it can take them a while to open up to someone new. This explains why most ISFJ friendships don't start as random encounters on a wild night out, but rather through comfortable and consistent contact. For example, at school or work. ISFJ personalities appreciate the opportunity to deepen their connection with another person over time, gradually sharing more and more of themselves. Getting along. Deep down, most ISFJs long to be liked and accepted. This is a natural desire, and it helps explain why people with this personality type are known for being such thoughtful, reliable friends. ISFJ personalities care about what others think of them, so they strive to bring their best selves to all of their relationships, including their friendships. ISFJs navigate friendships with a unique blend of warmth, support, and consistency. Their natural ability to connect on a personal level and truly understand others allows them to build strong, long-lasting bonds. This trait tends to make ISFJs exceptional friends. If taken too far, however, it can lead them to fall into the trap of people-pleasing. Some personality types have no trouble expressing an unpopular opinion or posing an awkward question, but not ISFJs. These personalities are reluctant to rock the boat, whether that means asking a friend to pay back a loan or disagreeing with where everyone else wants to go for dinner. In most cases, this behavior stems from a fear of being rejected. While most ISFJs are perfectly comfortable having a small, tight-knit circle of friends, they hate the idea of risking the disapproval of even one of those friends. The problem is that, over time, people-pleasing can cause these personalities to lose touch with their sense of self and their ability to make decisions on their own. Seeking balance. Few personality types can match ISFJ's fervent desire to be there for their friends through thick and thin. Always ready to offer advice, help, and reassurance, these personalities take pride in the fact that people turn to them in times of need. In fact, ISFJs will even ignore their natural tendency to avoid confrontation for their closest friends, jumping to their defense when anyone calls their character into question or puts them in harm's way. Showing up for their loved ones in any way that they can truly offers people with this personality type a sense of purpose in life. ISFJ personalities appreciate their friends deeply, and they aren't afraid to show it, but it may be difficult for them to ask for that same appreciation in return. ISFJs crave loyalty and respect, and, in an ideal world, a bit of recognition for all that they do. But even though many of these personalities crave validation and support from their friends, they tend to be too proud to ask for it, just as they may not be comfortable asking for the help they need. Fortunately, with time, many ISFJs learn that anyone who takes advantage of their generous, altruistic nature isn't a true friend. An inspired bond. People with the ISFJ personality type can become attached to their vision of how things should be. In the world of friendship, they may believe, consciously or not, that they should be completely selfless. But when they ease up on the expectation, balancing their friends' needs with their own, they can bring the full magnitude of their gifts to their friendships. This helps ISFJs enjoy the sort of meaningful, enduring bonds that make life all the more worthwhile. Okay, moving on to parenthood. People with the ISFJ personality type, defenders, make devoted and responsible parents who see parenthood as not just a role, but a calling. ISFJs bring their innate sense of dedication, reliability, and consistency into their parenting style, aiming to provide a stable foundation to help their children grow up to be capable, successful, and happy. But when it comes to parenthood, ISFJs aren't just motivated by a sense of duty. They are also motivated by love, and the depth and power of this love can be nothing short of amazing. Many ISFJ personalities feel that parenting allows them to use their gifts of altruism, generosity, and patience as they work hard to guide a beautiful new soul into the world. The road to independence. Given that ISFJs value tradition and guidance, it's no surprise that many of these personalities embrace clearly defined roles for parents and children. Rather than seeing themselves as their children's pure best friend, these parents view their role, and often rightly so, as that of a loving authority figure. Someone who imparts wisdom and values, gently but firmly teaching their children the difference between right and wrong. ISFJ parents dedicate themselves to ensure that their children understand the importance of taking responsibility and doing the right thing. It can be challenging for ISFJ parents when their children, in an effort to assert their independence, push back on this well-intended guidance and support. As part of their development, most children reach a point where they want to test boundaries, experiment with new ways of doing things, and make their own choices. And that sometimes involves going against their parents' advice and values. This may not be difficult for these personalities to manage in the early years, but it can become more of a struggle once their children reach adolescence and young adulthood, when the decision-making stakes become much higher. ISFJs value stability, and they want to make sure that their children are setting themselves up for the right kind of future, one that includes security as well as happiness. If they worry that their children aren't putting themselves on track for this kind of future, ISFJ parents can become deeply unsettled or even somewhat controlling. An abundance of love. Fortunately, ISFJ personalities aren't known for losing track of just how much they love their children. It's true that parents with this personality type may sometimes be heavy-handed in their efforts to steer their children in what they perceive to be a good direction. But even if their children end up going a different way, that doesn't mean that ISFJs will stop loving them or trying to help them find their life path. Even when struggling, ISFJ parents always accept their children as they are, providing a strong emotional foundation that their children can rely on. The truth is that parenting is far from easy for any personality type, not if they're doing it right. That said, ISFJs have the advantage of being not just caring but also thoughtful and responsible in how they administer that care. Often seen as ideal parents, people with this personality type are able to offer their children stability, security, and, most importantly, an abundance of love and support. Moving on to career paths. People with the ISFJ personality type, defenders, approach their career paths with the same commitment, diligence, and patience that they display in other aspects of their lives. Because of this, they are often seen as the backbone of their workplace. ISFJs are generally very reliable, hardworking, and always ready to lend a hand to those who need it. They take pride in getting the job done and getting it done well, rarely cutting corners or trying to avoid a time-consuming task. This unshakable work ethic, combined with a genuine desire to be of service to others, makes ISFJ personalities invaluable in a range of careers. Shining behind the scenes. Few personality types can match ISFJ's deep appreciation of what it means to play a supporting role. Rather than seeking out the spotlight for themselves, they genuinely enjoy helping and uplifting others. It's no surprise, then, that ISFJ personalities tend to seek out workplaces that are collaborative and team-oriented rather than competitive and high-pressure. With their natural humility, these personalities tend to feel especially fulfilled by careers that allow them to facilitate others' growth, healing, and progress. ISFJ's patience and ability to stay present in the moment enable them to be incredibly attuned to the needs of the people they are serving. Teaching is a prime example of a career that takes advantage of these important ISFJ strengths, as are speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, medicine, and social work. People with the ISFJ personality type are motivated, consistent workers, rarely losing sight of the ways in which their daily tasks can benefit others. No matter what it says on their business card, many people with this personality type approach their work with an eye toward helping others in practical ways. ISFJs tend to excel at customer service, with a particular gift for listening to concerns, calming frustrations, and seeing things through to a clear resolution. The people skills that ISFJs call upon can also translate well into roles in human resources, IT support, hospitality, retail, office administration, library sciences, and pretty much any job that involves fielding and helping answer people's questions, never missing a beat. Some personality types lose steam in the face of tedious, multifaceted tasks, but not ISFJs. Their attentiveness to detail is among their greatest strengths. Consequently, detail-oriented fields like law, accounting, data analysis, and research can be right up ISFJ's alley. What's especially notable, however, is how they stay connected to the human dimension of this work, rarely forgetting the impact that their spreadsheets and memos might have on real people. Despite their many gifts, these personalities are unlikely to demand recognition or ask for promotions, preferring to let their work speak for itself. Given their respect for tradition and security, ISFJs generally have no problem with the idea of moving along in a structured hierarchy, trusting that their bosses will promote them if and when the time is right. But even the most patient person can become frustrated if their contributions seem to be continually overlooked. When ISFJ personalities finally do take the leap into management roles, they often find that their strengths are extremely well suited to building a cohesive, productive, and effective team. Meticulous and socially oriented, ISFJs have a talent for remembering things about other people, a talent that can help them connect with a customer, bolster a faltering business relationship, or simply brighten a colleague's day. People with the ISFJ personality type may find it hard to part ways with employers due to their innate loyalty, even if things just aren't working out. But as long as they put themselves in a work environment that appreciates and takes full advantage of their many strengths and talents, ISFJs can use their determination, precision, and altruistic energy to do even more good in this world. Moving on to workplace habits. Wherever they may be on the career ladder, people with the ISFJ personality type, defenders, share the goal of putting good service and dedication above all else. ISFJ personalities can always be relied on for their kindness and ability to listen carefully to concerns and to find ways to resolve them. Win-win situations are their bread and butter, and no other personality type can quite match the satisfaction that they take in finding practical, clear resolutions to day-to-day challenges. ISFJ subordinates. As employees, ISFJs exemplify the strength of humble dedication. Relied on and respected for their patience and commitment, people with this personality type really only need one reward for their work: the satisfaction of knowing that they've helped someone. And if that person expresses a bit of gratitude, so much the better. At times, though, ISFJ's radical humility can hold them back. They tend to be unwilling to play up their achievements, often for fear of creating unnecessary friction or appearing to be a braggart. Unfortunately, this can make it only too easy for their bosses to overlook them when opportunities for promotion come along. ISFJ's humility is a strength, but people with this personality type may struggle to get new opportunities unless they learn to take at least some credit for all the work that they do. ISFJ's loyalty and dependability often make them invaluable to their bosses. In fact, they're the most likely personality type to report getting along with their boss. This might be in part because, in general, these personalities can be trusted to carry out their tasks precisely and without complaint. But it is also because they are such thoughtful and warm individuals who are willing to put in the effort to get to know people. That being said, ISFJ personalities' aversion to rocking the boat may make it difficult for them to correct or disagree with their bosses or coworkers, even when it's necessary to do so in order to avoid wasted time and energy. Fortunately, with time, many ISFJs learn to express their opinions and corrections in a gentle, non-judgmental way. ISFJ colleagues. For ISFJ, an ideal work environment is founded on working together with colleagues rather than competing against them, with everyone collaborating towards the shared goal of getting the job done. Close-knit and supportive teams are what ISFJ personalities enjoy most, allowing them to express their altruistic spirit among people who rely on their dedication and warmth. ISFJs build relationships with their colleagues naturally, a skill that they use to keep things running smoothly. These strengths can become drawbacks, however, as ISFJ personalities' aversion to conflict and their desire to help can be abused by less scrupulous colleagues. Instead of only asking for help when they need it, some colleagues may heap extra work on their desks, knowing that ISFJ colleagues have a hard time saying no. Unless they learn to set boundaries, people with this personality type can feel overburdened, stressed, and taken advantage of. ISFJ managers. ISFJs don't always raise their hands for leadership opportunities. In fact, they tend to prefer taking orders over giving orders, but their interpersonal skills and work ethic actually lend themselves quite well to managing others. ISFJ managers tend to be warm and approachable, always willing to answer questions and always ready to step up and help. Having no real desire to exercise power over others, ISFJ personalities prefer to work alongside their subordinates, keeping things running smoothly and minimizing conflict. ISFJs bring a team spirit to their work, and they aim to impart this spirit to the people they manage. ISFJ managers care about efficiency and effectiveness, but not at the expense of maintaining a positive relationship with their subordinates. Change can be a challenge for bosses with this personality type, including the non-too-pleasant change of firing someone who isn't working out. At times, ISFJ managers may sink a bit too much of their energy into an underperforming employee, but they'd much rather make this mistake than the mistake of giving up on someone who just needed another chance. Okay, so that was ISFJ, the Defender.